underneath this rather innocuous looking manhole cover, there's a 13.5 metre shaft, and at the bottom of that shaft there's an underground spring. So in today's video we're going to be talking about boreholes and water treatment plants. Welcome to Bohemia. So since this is my first video, before we start, let's just talk about where we are and what we're doing. We're in Cornwall. We have bought a house, having moved from London in 2022. The house is called Bohemia. It dates back from the 1840s at least. We've traced it back that far. It was always called Bohemia. It's an amazing house. It's been well loved, but a little bit neglected over the years, so we've got a lot of work to do. First job we did was we looked at the water system, and there's no mains water here. We're not on the mains, so we've got a private supply. And below me is the well. This is our borehole right down here. And as I said earlier, it's 13.5 meters deep. There's a submersible pump at the bottom of the hole, and it pumps water out. Now, there's a couple of different ways of controlling the pump. And when we first moved in, basically, we had a tank in the loft, a water tank, and a float switch in that tank. So there's a float, a bit like one of those ball cocks that switches the water on and off, but it controls a switch which sends electricity down the well to the pump, pumps the water up. So when the tank empties, it switches the switch on, the pump switches on and pumps water into the tank. When it gets to when the float gets to the top and the tank is full, it cuts off the supply of the electricity to the pumps. It's very simple, good system, and it's the way that it was done a lot in the early days of boreholes. The downside is that you've got a water tank in the loft which supplies all your water, including your drinking water. So we had the water tested, and I have to say it was fine, but was a little bit unsure about drinking water out of this tank in the loft, considering that there was evidence of rats in the loft, lots of droppings, and obviously there'd been a infestation in the loft, and we really didn't want to be drinking that water. So we decided to have a new system, and we're going to take a look at that now. So let's go into the garage where the water treatment system is. We'll talk about what the system is, what it does, and why it's a lot better than it was when we first moved in. So some of this is the existing equipment and some of it is brand new that we had put in. We had a new pump put in at the bottom of the borehole, which, as I say, 13.5 meters down, a 550 watt pump, which is plenty powerful enough to drive the water up out of the borehole and into the pressure vessel. So this is new. We had a pressure vessel put in, and this is a direct replacement for the water tank in the loft. This is a 100 litre vessel, okay, and it maintains the pressure. So basically, the pressure is maintained between 3 and 4 bar, which means our pressure to the house is always between 3 and 4 bar. This pressure vessel has a pressure switch on top. When the pressure drops to 3 bar or below, the pump kicks in and it pressurizes the vessel back up to 4 bar, at which point it stops. The main reason for both the pressure vessel or the tank in the loft is that you don't want the pump to keep switching on and off every time you run a tap, every time the washing machine turns on, anything like that. You want to smooth it out, otherwise it reduces the life of the pump. So the pump actually only has to switch on every now and again just to recharge the pressure vessel, or in the case of the old system, to top up the tank in the loft. Now, next to the pressure vessel, we've got the pH balancer. Okay, this balances the pH. It's quite common for spring water to be slightly acidic, and there's a substance in here that the water passes through, and then I don't know what it does, to be fair, but it balances the pH. That's all we need to know. And this was here before, but we had this system added on, which is a backwash system, which washes it out during the night when you're not using water, and then there's just a little pipe that goes through the wall there and just takes it out into a soakaway. We've also got a debris filter here, and the ultraviolet basically that just sterilizes the water, kills any bacteria. That's the existing system, but we had a new tube put in there to they recommend you replace the tube about once a year. We're going to get it serviced. I have to say, the whole system was put in by a local company in Cornwall called Chen Pumps. So thank you very much to Nathan and his team from Chen Pump. Did a really good job here. There's electrics associated with it as well, all fitted in. So let's just take a look at this pressure. At the moment, we're on about just over 3 bar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run some water out of the system using the hose, and then we'll see the pressure drop, and then we'll see how quickly the pump can pump that back up to 4 bar. You'll be quite surprised how powerful that pump is and how quickly that gets up to 4 bar. So I'm going to take the hose. I'll just point it at the car so we can get a little wash of the car while we're doing it. Turn the water on. We'll watch that that gauge there, and hopefully we'll see as I run the water, it will start to drop quite slowly because there's lots of pressure in the vessel. Oh, I'm just making the garage all wet. And then we should hear, at least I will hear, the pump kicking in when we get below. It's below 3 bar now. Down it goes. Pressure's still dropping a little bit. I don't think the pump's kicked in yet. Oh, we're down to about 2.5 bar now, hopefully. There it goes. I just heard it click. The valve detected the pressure, and you can see how quickly, I'll just stop that now, you can see how quickly the pressure is rising as the pump pumps water in. Even if I run the hose, it's still capable of driving the water out of the hose and increasing the pressure in the pressure vessel, which is good. Let's just turn that off, put that down, and we should see once it reaches just shy of 4 bar, and the pump's now switched off. It took a matter of seconds, less than a minute, to recharge it. Okay, so quite a lot of water. That's 100 litres in that tank. Quite a lot of water. And yeah, that's it. So now that's going to be supplying water for in the house. It's going to be it's going to just keep going for the next few hours until we've used up enough water that it drops right down below. What was it? 2.5 bar. To be fair, we don't notice it in the house. You don't notice the change in pressure. Yeah, it seems pretty consistent. We're not noticing a huge difference, even with a shower or something like that. I don't know what else I can say about this. It's a good system. We got I say free water. It's sort of free water. Obviously, we have to have it serviced, and we have to pay for the electricity for the pump. So there is a cost involved. We are hoping, and this is going to be future videos as we proceed with this project. There's lots of exciting things coming up. We're going to be looking at the new electric system. We're going to be looking at our new hot water system very, very soon. That's already in place. And then as the months go by, we're going to go for solar panels. We're going to have hopefully some battery storage in here as well somewhere. And we're looking to make this a really environmentally friendly home. Not 100% off-grid, I have to admit, but we'll get as close as we possibly can to being self-sufficient energy-wise. That's all coming up in the future. So we're just starting out with this channel. Please subscribe. It's really important. New channel. I hope you find all of my videos interesting in what we're doing here in Bohemia. So do subscribe and like the video. Tell your friends. And yeah, let's get a little community together. There's lots of other people out there. I can see a fly flying around the camera. I hope that's not in the way of the lens. Any case, lots of people doing really interesting videos about solar power, about batteries, all that kind of stuff. Oh, we've already got the car charger. You probably spotted outside there, the Zappy for the EV. No solar panels yet, but at some point we will surely be getting some solar panels. We've got lots of space outside, probably an array in the garden rather than on the roof to start with. But that's all to come in the future. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you again very, very soon. Take care and goodbye.